Okay, today we are fixing an issue that has been plaguing our enemy AIs. Basically, if you shoot them in the back, they do not react. So you could basically cheese them by walking behind them and blasting them in the back. As you can see, he did not respond, and I can do this until he dies. The only time they ever react is if they see you. So now he's chasing me. Oop, and he just flung me far. Oof. But you could see that he's now chasing me, and he flips. What we want to do is we want him to do the same thing, but if I shoot him in the back. Okay, so after some time, I have developed a damage response system that the AI uses to basically update its attack target. So let's take a look at how this works now. So as expected, if I shoot this guy in the back, he will immediately start attacking me. So that's working perfect now. Now it's not perfect because... It's not actually perfect because he responds a bit too quick, but we will rectify that in a second. Let's take a look at how this system works. So on the Flayed Minion Peeler, which is this guy, we have added a damage sensor component. This damage sensor component does a couple things. First, it ties into the health component, and it does this so that it could use this event called on hit. Now the on hit event takes in a damage response, and the damage response does a couple cool things. Namely, it can grab the attacker reference. So if something hits this guy, I can grab the game object that hurt me. Of course, if it can't grab it, we tell the AI that it's not a valid attacker, but if it is a valid attacker, we set it. And then we have this logic here, which basically updates the target variable on the blackboard. The blackboard is a special component that we use in our game to track different variables. So if you look at the peeler, he has a blackboard, and one of them is a target variable. So that's how that currently works. If we take a look at the blackboard and we watch this field right here, you will see that it updates when I shoot the peeler in the back. As you can see, it's now set to the Cultist Corgi game object, which is the player in the scene. If we turn off this automatic behavior checkbox, you will notice that the peeler no longer reacts to damage. This means that we can override the behavior and control it as we see fit. Let's take a look at that next. So if we take a look at the behavior tree, you will see that we are now listening to an event called onDamaged. So this node here will check to see if an onDamaged event was received. If it is, it will store the damage response in this variable. We set wasDamaged to true, and then this node simply tells this one to fail. If wasDamaged is false, it's true, it will continue running this whole thing, but if it becomes true, this node fails, which causes this parallel node to exit. When this node exits, the agent stops wandering, and the tree restarts over here. Over here, we'll see that there is a respond to damage node. This basically checks to see if we were damaged, and if we are, we wait for half a second. We debug a message, huh? This actually appears above the enemy's head. And then over here, we get the attacker, and we set it to the target variable. Of course, we set wasDamaged to false, so this doesn't run a second time. Now, if we take a look at this behavior, you'll see that we have the delay, the message, and then it will successfully attack us. So this is how you can override the default behavior provided by the damage sensor.